Midwest Box Trucking, back. It's been a crazy, hectic last 2 weeks, to say the least, and I wanted to stop and take some time to get this video out to you guys to kind of give a update on, the current events and, what's going on with the business and stuff of that nature. I'm actually fresh off of 2 runs overnight. I ended up getting a run last night. It was 60 miles from where I was. It was picking up out of Beloit, Wisconsin, and was going 135 miles for $5 a mile. I believe it netted me a total of $675. And upon completion of that run, I ended up about 60 miles out of Shanahan, Illinois, which instead of heading back home, I decided to go ahead and head over to that Amazon fulfillment facility and ended up catching a load going 20 minutes from my house. And that was for, I believe, $465. It was like $232 a mile. But like I said, it was bringing me right back home. So I went ahead and took that. It got me right up under $1,200 for the night, for right up under 12 hours worth of work. So that wasn't a bad deal. And yeah, it's just been crazy. I'm in the process of selling my Sprinter van to one of my YouTube subscribers. It's a guy out of Raleigh, North Carolina. He was actually on one of my YouTube videos. He asked a series of questions back to back. And this is kind of a situation where patience pays off, because I answered the questions. I had a little time that day, and he actually booked a consultation within the next 2 days. I didn't know it was him initially, but yeah, he booked the consultation. During the consultation, he let me know, hey, I'm the guy that was asking you, all of the questions on your YouTube videos. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, yep, shortly after that, I have a Sprinter van course, which I'm going to touch on later in the video. But shortly after that, I told him about my Sprinter van course. And I believe a day or so later, he purchased that. And during the consultation, I also let him know that I was selling my Sprinter van. And I sent him some pics, and he liked the van. He was about to get a van, which I'm going to be making a video on this, a specific style of Sprinter or Ford or, any style of van you want to steer clear of. But he was about to purchase a van for well more than what he's going to get my Sprinter van for. And it was a van that wasn't going to be able to be used, for what he needed it for. I'm going to just kind of get this out. It was a dually. You don't want a dually style Sprinter van. A standard 48 by 44, whatever the standard, dimensions of a skid or a pallet is, it does not fit through a dually inset, wheel on a Sprinter van or a Ford van, therefore making you unable to be loaded through your back doors. Okay, so you want to steer clear of dually style vans. But yeah, he completed the consultation. He told me he was getting a dually style van. I told him he definitely wanted to steer clear of that van, and got him some pictures of my van. So he's actually flying in tomorrow. Today being Wednesday, tomorrow, so Thursday morning, he's flying in, and we're going to complete a test drive, a look over of the vehicle, call Mercedes-Benz, get a full list of all of the maintenances I've had done. Also kind of finalize everything with, the numbers on the deal. And at that point, sometime within the next 2 weeks, I'm going to drive the van up to Raleigh, North Carolina, and have it inspected, in his hometown. And yep, that deal should be sealed. I'm not worried about him, not being pleased with the van at all. It's in exceptional shape. I was actually about to just kind of let you guys know that I was going to be selling it. But yeah, the first person that I kind of consulted with that was looking for one, he kind of is already ready to snatch it up, man. He's ready. So yeah, he'll be here in the morning. I have that. I'm also in the process of hiring a driver. I have a good candidate in mind. It was a guy who he delivers a FedEx route in my neighborhood. And I was talking to him one day, kind of just asking questions about how his route with FedEx worked, and told him kind of what I was doing, showed him my box truck because he was at my home or whatever. So, and we kind of talked about him maybe doing some work with me. Well, ironically, I had a deep freezer I ordered, and when I got it, plugged it up, it powered on, but it didn't get cold. So the company advised me to send the deep freezer back, package it all up, have FedEx take it back out. And the same guy showed up at my house again. So we talked a little more in depth, and he was literally gonna load the deep freezer into the back of, he drives a 16-foot box truck, but he was gonna load the deep freezer into the back of the box truck by himself. He had nothing more than a hand dolly, and he didn't have a ramp. And so I offered to help, and I kind of saw the work ethic there. He's also doing like a second job somewhere, like some type of restaurant that he said he's gonna be leaving. So yeah, I'm definitely, looking at maybe trying to bring him on as one of my first drivers. I also put a Facebook ad out. Facebook now lists job postings in your local area. So I put a ad out on Facebook, and immediately within 2 hours, I got 2 applications. So I'm going to be looking at those also. Definitely trying to get a driver on board before the beginning of peak season, which is, I say, the beginning of November into October. So by that point, I want to have at least one driver on board. So I'm working on that. I've also completed the course. I have a full Sprinter van course complete with expedited shipping companies, brokerage companies, vital startup tips, as well as a step-by-step process to getting you on the road in the Sprinter van business. The certifications that you need, certifications that you don't need, because it's a little bit different than the box truck game. Some certifications you need for a box truck, you do not need for a Sprinter van. They will try to sell those to you, different third-party companies, but you do not need these certifications for a Sprinter van. So that course is completed, and like I said, I got a list of expedited shipping companies. It's over 10. At least 5 brokerage companies that work with Sprinter vans. I have multiple startup tips, different companies that you can look to dispatch yourself with freight and so forth. So I'm charging $150 for the entire course, the expedited shipping companies, brokers, the startup tips, everything is $150. Okay, if you would like to add a consultation in, that'll be $200. Okay, I charge $50 for a unlimited consultation. Okay, so those are my prices for the services. My email is like flooded with, questions. I even had one of the guys that I consulted with, or he consulted with me, ask like, hey, why don't you, tell everybody about, the services you offer. And I'm like, I kind of try to, offer it on a as needed basis. I don't want to overload myself with, emails and stuff of that nature, because I do pretty good and get a lot of consultations just with the, information I do put out on the services that I offer. But yes, it's $50 for unlimited consultation, $150 for the course with expedited shippers, brokerage companies, startup tips, etc. it's $200 if you want to include a consultation in with the course, and it's $300 for my mentoring program. And that's honestly what he was asking me about. Why didn't I, advertise my mentoring program more? And, the courses I can get out within minutes, but mentoring is more hands-on, and I do have a few people that I'm mentoring at this time, and I see that it, can be time consuming, because I have to answer any and all questions. I have to assist with any and everything that, is needed. So I don't want to overwhelm myself, and I'm not charging a whole bunch of money for, my services. So I think I'm well more than fair with everything I offer. Like, if you see the course and what's included, I could well be charging, $300, $400, $500 for the information. But I honestly just charge for the time to sit down and get this stuff out to you guys. I'm not out to just try to make a whole bunch of money on YouTube, and I'm not knocking anybody that, whatever I'm just, more focused on my business and that, aspect of things. So the YouTube to me is kind of secondary, and, it just kind of is what it is. But those are the services that I offer. And I'm currently, selling courses every day, doing consultations every day. So I know I have some people that I was unclear about, what the charges were for different services that I provide. And I don't know if they may have thought they were free. But yeah, I have a lot of questions in my email. So this is just to kind of clear that up. These courses have been being sold for the last, week, and, I've been consulting, and my prices have been the same. I just don't promote it all the time. So it's not absolutely free, but it's definitely fair. So that's kind of, what's going on with me. And just to kind of update you guys, I'm headed out the door right now. I got to run to the Secretary of State and get a license plate sticker, and then I'm looking into it's a medical supply facility within maybe say 5 miles of my home. And when I was passing by there, I saw a bunch of their actually trucks that were labeled for their company, and then I saw some Penske rental trucks. I think they were 16 footers, but I'm gonna go look and just kind of see what they're doing, kind of still trying to pick up different, work in, my local area also. That's something we always want to try to stay on top of as well. But yeah, that's what's going on with me for right now. And, look for more content, coming in the near future. Like I said,